the whole you have to be sad to write good music thing trope is one that I'm kind of fighting against. Actually, I think it's a way too facile a statement. I think that there's certain types of songs that are easier to write when you're angry or depressed or frustrated or whatever, which are the angry, depressed, and frustrated songs. But if that's the entirety of your musical palette, then fuck, man, listen more widely. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think that it's something also I might add that I've learned from testing this hypothesis to destruction is that getting out of your head doesn't help you write. It's such bullshit. It's such bullshit. Nobody's ever fucking written anything good when they were wasted, I think. I think that maybe you get some ideas when you're wasted, but the actual process of writing happens when you're sober, or if it's any good. And in my experience, and in fact in the experience of all the musicians I know as well, this idea that you can like sort of loosen up somehow or like, get fucked up and write good songs, I think that's bullshit. Or at least it is in my experience. I don't know, I think that it's a funny thing. I do think that there's mileage in the idea. I always think of that Leonard Cohen lyric, there's a crack in everything and that's how the light gets in. And I think that there's a moment at which, the people who have a slightly off-kilter relationship with the world at large also have an interesting angle on it, and therefore a way of kind of creating art that is meaningful to people and sort of, because art's about empathy, but it's also about showing people the world from a new perspective. So there is that chicken and egg thing about like, are more damaged people better at writing songs, or does the effect of being in the music industry damage people? I suspect it's a two-way street. I certainly think that there are some really rough parts about being creative for a living, because you take something that's so intimate and so personal to you and you sort of stake your professional reputation on it, and that can be a recipe for bad things. Has occurred to me in recent years is that I'm 36 now. I'm at the sort of the middle or upper end of the touring demographic, and when I was a kid, there were just no adults in the room anywhere. Like all of us were in our like late teens, early 20s, and we all jumped in vans and started driving around. And the promoters were in their early 20s, and the other bands were in their early 20s, and there was just no adults in the room. So everybody just started getting fucked up, and the whole thing was a giant bachelor party on wheels for a really long time, and no one ate any vegetables ever, and like sleep was just not an option, and and that was fun for while it lasted. But like now that, as I say, 36 years old, I don't want to try and sound like Mr. Old Man with a walking stick, but like I do encounter younger musicians than myself, and it's just that little thing of kind of going, it's okay to eat properly and sleep and not get drunk every day. And like I say, I don't think that there's enough voices saying that to younger bands starting out on the road, because the fact of the matter is, on tour, alcohol is more readily available than food and shelter everywhere you go. And if I drink all the beer that's in the fridge downstairs, they will bring more. It's sort of like it's kind of impossible to win, because there is more beer than there is in the world than there is room in my stomach. But I mean, I'm currently, for example, I'm doing a thing. I only drink when I have a day off the next day. So only like once every 3 or 4 days, which actually is great. It's a really nice kind of moderate thing. And moderation is something that I've struggled with in my time, let me tell you.